Good morning, friends. Today we are going to discuss our second module, that is interest rate. In this module, we would like to discuss meaning and definition of interest rate, different theories of interest rate, and determinants of interest rate. So very simple and small module as far as your syllabus is concerned. Then in this module, some theories related to the interest rate are also discussed, like yield curve theory, financial repression and interest rate, etc. See, interest is the rate of interest that prevails in the country occupy an important place, especially in the modern world. The rate of interest that motivate people to save money from their incomes and that provide the same for productive purposes. We know interest rate regulate the flow of investable fund and therefore indirectly have an impact on the growth of the economy as a whole. That we know. Our economic development or economic growth that is depends upon the rate of interest prevailed in our economy. RBI uses interest rate as the measure or a tool to control inflation or deflation and credit creation. Is a weapon for economic control. Interest is the payment made by for borrowed funds or the price paid for the use of money. That is the meaning of interest. Interest is always expressed as the rate of percentage per annum or per months. That's we know. Then many economists defined interest. Famous economists give their own definition. In the words of Marshall, interest is the price paid for the use of capital in any market. It's very simple definition. World famous economist Marshall. Keynes, we know Keynesian theory. Keynes defined interest rate as the premium offered to induce people to hold their savings in some form or other than hoarded money. We know hoarded money. From the various definition, it is very clear what is meant by interest rate. And from this meaning, it is very clear some important basic terms or concepts related to the interest. First one, that is ceiling rate. Ceiling rate is the maximum rate of interest which is payable on a financial instrument. The ceiling rate, some cutoff rate. Ceiling rate is a cutoff rate or maximum rate. Maximum offered rate of interest which is payable on financial instruments. It is government by the Government of India or RBI. RBI is an effects institutions to determine all these things. The next concept, that is coupon rate. Coupon rate is also known as bond rate. That is a fixed rate of interest which is mentioned on the face value of the bond or debenture at the time of issue. We know we are always saying that 7% debenture at the rate of 100, it means that is debentures. That means debenture of face value of rupees 100 carrying 7% interest. Clear? 7% debenture means a debenture that carries 7% of interest. The next one, that is yield. The term yield is used to denote a rate of interest which will equate the present value of the future cash flow. Once again, the main important term here, that is the which I will give that used to denote the rate of interest, which will equate the present value of the future cash flow with the cost of initial investment. That is called yield. Okay, there are different yield: dividend yield, earning yield, running yield, and redemption yield. Dividend yield is means that is this term is used to evaluate an investment in equity shares. Equity shares, dividends, that is related to equity shares. A dividend per share paid to an investor as a promotion of the par value of share, that is called a dividend. Okay. Then earning yield means how much is actually distributed to the shareholders, that is called earning yield. It's not the earning yield is not denoted to the entire dividend. Out of this dividend per share admissible to the investor, how much is actually distributed? Okay, that is that denote earning yield. The next running yield. Running is also known as current yield or market yield, that represent the payment of annual interest as a proportion of the market price of the bond. Clear? The annual interest as the promotion of the market price of the bond. The next last one is that is redemption yield. That means annual interest payment plus annual appreciation. Annual appreciation means face value or purchase value. That is called annual appreciation. So redemption yield means the annual interest payment plus annual appreciation. It may be depreciation also. Okay. So these are all the basic concepts related to the interest rate. Now see next, that is determinants of interest rates. We know as per the interest is the price paid for fund. That is the simple meaning of this interest rate. As the price of any commodity is determined by the forces of demand and supply, is a usual practice in the market. The rate of interest can also be determined by the force of demand and supply in the financial market. See various theories related to the determination of interest rate. First one, that is classical theory, loanable fund theory, liquidity preference theory, modern theory. Today we would like to discuss first theory, that is classical theory. This basic main proponent of this classical theory, that is Marshall, Ricardo, Pigot, and Fisher. These are all the economists, classical economists, call it as a classical economics. According to them, interest is a real phenomena and is therefore determined by real factors. What are the real factors? Demand and supply. That is the demand and supply of the capital under the condition of one assumption is that there should be a perfect competition. There should be a perfect competition. Clear? So here, based on the classical theory, interest rate is the real phenomena which is determined by the real factors. What are the real factors? Demand and supply is the real factor. Only one assumption, that is there should be a perfect competition. It is also known as capital theory of interest. Classical theory is also known as classical theory of interest. Okay. As per the founder of this theory, equilibrium rate of interest is determined by the supply of savings and demand of the interest. Is very important point that you have to note down. Okay. What is meant by demand for interest? Demand for interest and investment and supply of savings. Then first one, let's see demand for investment. And two things we are discussed here: demand for investment and supply of savings. The supply of savings means in terms of capital. Demand for capital comes from the spending units such as entrepreneurs, firms, government who want to make productive investment and thereby earn profit. Demand for investment depends upon the most of investment. The investor will go on demanding capital till the rate of return. Okay. Please is wrongly written here as supply of savings, that is demand for investment. Demand for investment. Demand for investment. Demand capital comes from the spending units such as entrepreneurs, firms, government who want to make productive investment and thereby earn profit. Demand for investment depends upon the cost of investment. The investor will go on demanding capital till the rate of return on investment is higher than the rate of interest paid for acquiring capital. It's a very important point. Investor will go on demanding capital till the rate of return on investment is higher than the rate of interest paid for the acquiring capital. That is the theory. The classical theory is based on various assumptions such as perfect competition, flexibility of interest rate, full employment of resources, constant income and price level, and rational behavior of investors. Clear? The next one, that is supply of savings. Please, it's wrongly written as demand for investment. You please read as supply of savings. Supply of saving. The supply means that mainly comes from savings by individual, household, business and government, whereas demand that is comes from the spending units such as entrepreneurs, firms and government. The willingness to save and ability to save, the savings unit affects the supply of capital. Okay, supply of capital or supply of savings, that comes from the willingness to save. When people are savings, that ensure the supply of savings. Then savings and the rate of interest directly related to each other. Higher is the rate of interest, more will be savings. This is a common phenomena, and the larger will be the supply of capital and vice versa. So that's all about supply of savings. So by these words, let us conclude today's discussion. Okay, thank you.